All right, so without further ado, without wasting time, so this evening I want to say that you're welcome. If you found yourself here, I want to welcome everyone into this meeting, into this session. It's the all-time functional teacher webinar 1.0. And what we're going to be doing this evening, and it's the first day of the webinar. It's going to be 3 days. And what we're going to be doing is to learn digital skills for online and physical classroom engagement. All right. So I want to believe that every one of us here, right, you are a teacher, you're an educator, all right, in some way, whatever level of education that you're practicing in. All right. So what we are going to be doing is to engage ourselves to learn, all right, certain skills that are needed, right, in this 21st century, right? What are those skills that are needed in this 21st century for whether you are an online teacher, right, or you are a physical school teacher, all right? So, but before we go on, let's just, let's engage ourselves a little. All right, so I'm going to share a link on the chat section. So all I need for you to do is just click on the link and answer the question. All right, click on the link and answer the question. Give me a minute. You're going to answer the question on Mentimeter. I don't know if anyone has used Mentimeter before. All right. If you have not, all right, we have already started learning the digital skills already. Now, these are tools that you can use to engage, in the classroom, most especially the online space, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and share it with you right away. Okay, right there. All right, so I just shared the link on the chat. So you can click on the link and answer the questions there. So I'm just going to share my screen so that you see what will be displayed on the screen. Okay, so just click on the link. Let me know if you have done that. And if you're having any difficulty, so just please let me know. If you're having any difficulty with it, let me know. Click on the link. Okay, so I'm getting your responses already. So I'm just going to share my screen so that you see what it is displaying. All right, so there it is. There are 3 responses already. So I asked, how was your day? Okay, someone said beautiful. Another person said it was good, and well, mine was awesome. So another person said, I bless God, it was fine. All right, so we've started already, all right, about classroom engagement. So just in case you have difficulty with that, by the end of this session, you can say 1 or 2 things about that. All right, so I'm going to move to the next question. All right, so, okay, where are you joining from? Now, I hope that as you're feeling it, you can also see my screen. All right, you can see my screen to see the responses. So I asked, where are you joining from? So someone has responded, Ikorodu, Lagos State. Let's have other responses. Yeah, I'm waiting for other responses. Respond on Mentimeter. Okay, I want you to respond on Mentimeter. What we are doing here is to learn digital skills, right, for both online and physical classroom engagement. So I want you to use the Mentimeter, right, to respond, not on the chat section, not the chat now. Mentimeter, click on the link, type, answer the question, and then submit. So I still have one response. So let me know if you have difficulty. I want to believe we are still here, right?
Yes, we are still here. I'm still here.
I want to answer the question, but the issue that I have is that I did it through message. I didn't know how to do the Mentimeter we're talking about.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can you see the link? Let me share the link again. All right. So what you need to do is click on the link. All right. I just shared the link again. Click on the link. Right. It's going to lead you to Mentimeter. It's going to lead you to Mentimeter. So all you need to do is just answer the question there. The question says, where are you joining from? So far, we only have one response, Ikorodu, Lagos State. This is how we actually engage our students in class. Everything is not all mathematics and English, right? Sometimes you just want to have chat with your students. You just want them to communicate to you. And there are some students in class that's teaching in the online space for a while now. There are some students that they don't like to talk, no matter what you say, right? They will not say anything in class. But they love to type, right? And even some of us as teachers and some people like that, you chat better than speak. Okay. All right. So we have another response, Ikorodu, Lagos. Me respond on Mentimeter. I'm going to share link in the chat. So we have 2 responses so far, and there are 8 of us, okay, minus me, right? There are seven of you here. So I'm expecting 7 responses. I'm expecting 7 responses. It's like we'll not leave this place today. We're learning, okay? We're actually learning. Yeah, do that in the chat box. Amina Adepeju, do that not in the chat box, do that on Mentimeter. The link is already on the chat box. Click on the link. All right, you can see the link on the chat box. Click on that link. Let me share. I'm going to share it again. Click on the link, then respond to the question. Respond to the question. Let's do that in the next 3 minutes. We still have some things to do. But if you have issues trying to do that, just please let me know. All right. If you have issues trying to respond, please let me know.
I click on the link, but the issue is that only question that I see there is that how was your day? How was your day? All those links that you sent to us now, how was your day is there.
Okay, have you responded to that? Did you respond to
I
that?
Yes, I did earlier.
Okay, let me show. Okay, now look at, can you see my screen now?
I can see your screen.
All right, so if you responded to how was your day, these are your responses. So
Yeah.
beautiful, someone said beautiful, another person it was good, and you, I bless
Yes.
God it was fine. Yeah, great. I believe every one of us, you know what you typed, right? So you
Yes.
can see your response here. Okay.
Yes.
The next question is, where are you joining from?
Yeah.
Okay, have you seen that question now? Have you seen it?
Yes, I'm seeing the question, but on the link, it's not there.
Oh, okay, okay. Just hold on. It should be there though, but just hold on.
Okay.
Okay, can you check it now? It's the same link though. Okay, for the two people who have submitted their response, right, on where they are joining from, can you share with the whole house? Can you share with us? Okay, we have another response there. Akoka, Lagos. Okay, so can you share with us, anyone, can you share with us how you were able to submit your response on where are you joining from? Anyone?
Yeah. It was the question was there, and there is a box for answer. The another is submit. So I submitted.
Okay.
And underneath, I saw next question. So I click on next question, and that question pop up with the same box. I put my response there, and I submitted again.
Okay, so it
Okay,
wasn't
so it
difficult,
wasn't
right?
difficult, right? No, it wasn't difficult. So direct.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
So let's have 2 more minutes. Can we have 2 more minutes for others to respond to that? So the reason we are doing this is so that you can get familiar, all right, with this tool for engaging students. So if you are an online teacher, right, it's not all about, you just come into class and all you want to do is just teach math, or teach English, or teach science, or teach any other subject. There are rules to classroom engagement. All right, there are rules to engaging your students in class, to get their responses, maximum responses. All right, and this is one, using Mentimeter. So I believe that for those of us who have responded after now, all right, just go to Mentimeter. Just type Mentimeter on Google. You can sign in using your Google account, right? And then there are different. There's survey. There is quiz. You can even use it to prepare a quiz, right? You can use it to prepare a quiz in class. These are different ways to teach. We're going to see all of that, all right, as we continue in the session. All right. So because of time, we're just going to move right away so that we don't take too much, we don't spend too much time here. All right. So we're just going to move right away. So I'm going to take this out and share my slides. Okay, so I believe everyone can see my screen. If you can see my screen, just raise your hand. Just raise your hand. This is how I actually engage my students in class. All right, I teach online. All right, so okay, I see your response. I see your responses. Okay, all right, you can put your hands down now. You can put them down. Okay, so like I said, this is the all-time functional teacher webinar 1.0. And what we're going to be doing these 3 days, digital skills for online and physical classroom engagement. All right, so I'll be teaching you, how to engage your student, or let's say, we'll be interacting with one another, how we ought to engage our students. There's no one is an island of knowledge, right? Whatever I have to give, I'll bring it to the fore, right? And we're just going to rub minds together. We're going to share things together on how to engage students online. All right. So We'll just continue there. Okay, moving to the next. All right. So about the convener, Olalekan Badmus is an astute educator, teens coach, teacher trainer, and a growth advocate. So he specializes in teaching mathematics and science across secondary and tertiary levels of education. And this he has done for over a decade. He currently teaches in an online school, implementing the British and K-12 curricula, teaching both local and foreign students. He's also a growth advocate as he pushes for teachers' training and effectiveness in the academic environment. So over the years, his engagements in education has resulted into nothing less than a show of excellence. All right, so this speaks about what I've been doing, all right, for over a decade now, and what I'm still doing, all right, and what I'll still continue to do. All right, so what I've come to do, these 3 days, I've come to, engage you to share, what I've been doing so far, and how that really I can tell you for free that, I've recorded considerable growth, right, over the years from teaching in a physical classroom. Right now, I actually teach online. So despite the fact that, I'm an online teacher, right, I implement the British and K-12 curricula, right, yet, I speak strongly on teachers being trained, effectiveness in the academic environment, in the classroom, right? So I don't speak down on physical classroom teacher, right? Or I don't speak down what they are doing, right? Because I've been there. So I'm not trying to say that, online teaching is the new normal. If you are not teaching online, then you are not doing anything, right? That's not what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to be teaching you, what I'm going to be showing you is both for online teachers and also for physical classroom teachers. All right. So I want to assure you, all right, just put your mind to it, right? As long as you have a growth mindset, right? Just have, I want to believe that those of us who have joined, right, we are people who are willing to grow. We are people who are willing to do better, right? For me, right, I chose education, right? I chose this profession. They didn't dash me, right? And I'm not here because I didn't find job, right? And then I just decided, let me just go and teach. No. Okay, this is the profession that I chose and I've been practicing, for years now. Okay, so and at every point in time, I always push, right, for growth. Anytime I see an opportunity to get better, as long as it's going to, improve me and make me get better, I jump at it. All right, I jump at it. And so this meeting is simply a product, right, of that mindset, how that, the willingness to help others to get better. All right, and that's why we are here. That's why we are here. All right, so that's what I've been doing so far. So this meeting is for both physical classrooms and online classrooms teachers. So what to expect today, which is day one, we're going to be learning professional skills for classroom engagement, right? Day two, which is tomorrow, I'll teach you more particular about some tools that you can use even in the physical classroom, right? So we're not just putting this or building this only on online teaching, right? Even now, let me say this. Right, and you adding spices to it and you being improved upon, right, to get better at your profession, to get better in the teaching profession, right? So I can tell you that there's a difference between just teaching, conventionally, the traditional way of teaching, right, and bringing. But we're going to do more of it tomorrow. I'll teach you some skills. I'll show you some skills, some tools rather, that you can use, to teach in the physical and the online space. Then day 3, we're going to see effective lesson presentation and delivery. Some time ago, I shared with some set of people how that, in today's world, I don't know, but there are teachers who are still writing lesson notes, like writing with their hands, right? Who are still writing lesson notes in today's world. Actually, some things are archaic. Yes, we all started from there. I wrote lesson notes too. I wrote in higher education, I wrote multiple, right? But then things are changing. Things are changing, right? Technology has come to stay. And the reason for technology, right, is not to make you lazy as a teacher, right? As an educator, it's not to make you lazy. It is so that to carry out before, you can now do that, with little time, right? With little time. So you spend less time than what you used to do before, right? So the remaining time, right, you use it to do other productive things. So day 3, I'm going to teach you how to prepare your lessons properly in very short time so that you can have time to do, other things. Okay? Let's just rack our brains a little, right? Let's rack our brains a little. Now, so this is classroom engagement now. So you are my students, at least for this period of time, you are my students, right? I'm the teacher, right? So can you spot the hidden tiger? Spot the hidden tiger. If you have seen it, just let me know. Spot the hidden tiger. Anyone? I believe everyone can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, so can you go ahead and spot the hidden tiger? Mrs. Divine, do you want to say something? Your hand is raised. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. It's an interactive session.
But there is tiger already.
Okay, but there is a hidden tiger.
Okay,
The hidden tiger. Can you spot the hidden tiger?
Okay. Let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Okay, yes, Divine Uduji, permit me. Your hand is raised.
Hello, can I talk? I guess it's
Yes,
towards the
yes,
tail
please.
of the big tiger.
I didn't get you, ma'am.
I guess the hidden tiger is towards the tail of the big tiger.
Okay, did we get what she said? It's an interactive session, so I want us to interact. Did you all hear what she said? Are we together? I hope everybody is here.
No, we are here. We are just trying to look at the the tiger. Just trying to look at it.
Okay, let's look at it.
Okay, yes, I can see. It's behind the tail.
Behind the tail?
Yes.
Oh, really? I can't see anything. Or can you all see something? She said it's behind the tail. Let's talk now. Why is this place cold like this?
No, we can't see. You say, can we see? And we not see anything. So we still have to look at
But
it.
there's the hidden tiger.
I think that hidden tiger, when you look at the 2 legs at the back, we can find the hidden tiger there.
Okay, but have you seen it, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay, where is it?
At the back of the two legs.
The back of the two legs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
I can't see it.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, ma'am.
I think I can see like a reflection of a tiger on the floor.
I don't know. I'm hearing your echo actually, so your voice is not so clear to me. I'm still waiting.
So as they've said, it's like a reflection. That white stuff behind the trees, behind the tiger.
Okay. Do you think there's a tiger behind the tail or behind the leg?
Not the
If you
tail.
can see a tiger behind the tail or behind
It's
the
not
leg,
the tail. It's not the tail actually. I'm looking at, but it looks like a reflection. I mean, at the other side of the tree, behind the side, far from the tiger.
Okay, we all can see that there's a visible tiger. So, but where's the hidden tiger?
It looks like the reflection at the back.
Reflection.
It's not easy to spot.
It's really difficult to spot.
Okay, really difficult to spot. Okay. So do you want me to? I should say the answer.
Pause.
Please help us.
How much will you pay me if I help you now? Or what will you give me if I help you?
You know the answer.
Thank you.
You know that is your question. So we won't give you anything. You know the answer.
Oh really?
Thank you.
Oh really? Oh no. Okay. Let's have 1 minute. Let's just do 1 minute. Just try. Maybe he's hiding under the tree or someone.
No, there's something behind those trees that look whitish like this.
But is that a tiger?
No, definitely it's not close. It looks like a tiger.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, can we all look at? Let's look at. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at the hidden tiger.
Yes.
Okay, can you see that? Can you see the skin of the tiger? The visible tiger.
Yes.
Okay, what is written on the skin? On the skin rather.
Eden.
Can you start from here?
Eden.
I still cannot see anything.
Tiger.
I've seen it there. Oh, that's
G at the neck.
This is just
In the tummy side.
no
Okay.
from the
Tiger
end.
at the laps.
At the labs.
Hello, I'm lost.
Okay. Look at the skin of the visible tiger.
Okay.
The skin of the visible tiger.
Really?
Okay.
So can you read what you can see on the skin rather?
Oh, the hidden tiger.
So you can see.
Yeah.
Now,
Wow, this is beautiful.
so that's the hidden tiger.
We can call you.
Right.
I didn't hear the hidden tiger, please.
The hidden tiger is on the skin of the visible tiger.
Jesus.
You can see. Okay, so you see that if you are in the forest, right, and then there are some students probably, are into themselves. This is how you can bring them out. This is how you can hear from them. All right. Sorry, Mr. Oluwafemi, can you please mute your mic? I can hear myself. All right, thank you. Okay, so this is how you engage your students in class. All right, so like I said earlier, it's not all about math and English, civic, or everything like that, always. You have, within the limited time you have in your class, you can do something, right, to arouse the interest of the students before the class. All right, so let's see if we have, let's see the next one. I think the next one is very simple. Can you spot the difference? Anyone? Spot the difference. Can you spot the difference?
Ready to cloud.
Anyone who can?
I can spot the difference.
Okay. Can you tell us what the difference is?
The one on the left and the one on the right, they have something close to their truth. Why the one in the middle has nothing?
Can we all confirm that? Oh, okay.
Yes,
Someone is
clapping for you. That was right.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Is there any other difference? Can you spot any other difference?
Still on it.
Yeah, I think that's the only difference. So nice one. That's a good one. All right. So like I said, you have all of these images. You can download them from Google to engage your students in class, right? To engage your students in class. Somebody may say that, oh God, I'm teaching in a physical classroom. How do I, engage my students with things like this? Well, we're going to see that as we continue, right? How you can engage your students in things like this. All right. So let's move to the next slide. So we have one more. What occurs once in a minute, twice in a moment, and never in 1,000 years? What is that? What is it? What occurs once in a minute, twice in a moment, and never in 1,000 years?
That's letter M.
Oh, you have seen my next slide.
No.
All right, that's letter M.
We do reduce in schools too. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. That's correct. All right, so let's see some facts about the 21st century and effective teaching engagement. Now, Tim Vathana in 2022 said that the best method of classroom teaching in the 21st century is the blended learning. This blended learning actually combines online resources with traditional classroom teaching, okay, offering flexibility and personalized learning while maintaining face-to-face interaction. So what blended learning is, some of us might have heard about blended learning, and you can see the picture, just beside it. You can see that there is the traditional way of teaching, the traditional classroom engagement, right? And there is e-learning. So how are you ought to teach effectively today in this 21st century if, as as an educator, as a teacher, right, you are not including digital tools, e-learning to your classroom engagement, right? You are not doing as you ought. All right, you are not doing as you ought, because to be effective in today's world, right, to teach effectively, in fact, let me say that, because you might be thinking very far, right? You might be thinking very far. It starts from, yes, I know we have the instructional materials, the charts, you come with charts. I don't even think that there are teachers who should be drawing on the board. I mean, when I mean drawing, like when we were in school back then, biology, right? A teacher could draw mosquito on the board, right? Draw goat on the board, right? Draw this one, animals on the board. I don't know if anyone is still having that experience today. If as a science teacher, right, or any other subject you're teaching, right, you are not including e-learning, right, to today's teaching engagement, then you're not doing as you ought. Okay, so there is more to teaching than what we have just on the surface than what you have in the traditional setting. Okay, there is more to teaching than just what you have in the traditional setting. So you should be able to blend the e-learning. You should be able to blend digital tools, all right, to your lesson. And like I said, it can start from you downloading videos, right? Downloading videos on YouTube about what you want to learn. And let me say that, for every topic you want to teach, right, there is a video for it on YouTube. Yeah, you can go on YouTube and you can download, a video on what you want to teach. You can bring out what's it called, illustrations. You can use videos. Let your students, see something that is different from the usual way of teaching. Because you see, even though we all, right, we were taught like that, but then because we don't want to produce the kind of we want to produce better people. We want our students, to be better than us, right? So we are pushing to do more. We are bringing digital tools into the classroom, right, so that students can see, right? It is not far-fetched. Like I said, you can download videos on YouTube and send it to students at home to watch. We're going to see that as we continue. There's actually a whole lot to learn about integrating digital tools to teaching and learning. Now let's look at more facts about 21st century teaching strategies. Now, 21st century teaching strategies focus on equipping students with skills like critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity, alongside digital literacy and problem solving. Now, let me say this. It doesn't matter the subject you are teaching. It doesn't matter whether, even if you are teaching Yoruba, right, whatever subject, and I didn't mention that to belittle those teaching Yoruba. No, if our people who are teaching language these days, they are making big money, right? They are making a whole lot of money, all right, teaching language. So I didn't just say that. I said that because not everyone, you can't find everyone there, right? Now, if whatever subject and topic you're teaching, if it doesn't inspire critical thinking, right, I tell you, I don't want to say that you're not doing well, but you're not doing as you ought as a teacher. If your lesson does not inspire critical thinking for students to think, for students to, because the essence of education in the first place, right, is for these students to be able to solve problems. It's not for them to cram formula as a mathematics teacher or physics teacher. It's not for them to just know what osmosis is as a biology teacher. It's not for them to just know the Constitution of Nigeria, right, as a government teacher, right? No, it's for them to be able to critically think. And for a student that can critically think, right, that student to be able to solve problems. Now, let's take, for example, the inventor of the light bulb, Thomas Edison, right? That's a common example, that we all know, right? Now, he carried out 1,000 failed experiments. 1,000 failed experiments. Now, that couldn't have happened if there is no critical thinking, right? So if your lesson does not inspire critical thinking as a teacher, right, you're not doing as you ought. Now, your lesson also must inspire communication. It must inspire communication, right? You must be able to communicate. Your lesson should, communicate to the students. There must be effective communication. You shouldn't be teaching in class, right? And there is no communication between you and the student, and also amongst the student themselves. Like we started with, right? We started with, okay, how was your day, right? Can you tell me what are those things you did today? Questions. We're going to see that soon, right? Questions, Socratic questions, that can initiate thoughts, thought-provoking questions, right? Now, so your lesson must inspire communication. Your lesson must inspire collaboration, right? You are not teaching in a class so that the students can be isolated. No, in fact, you should be worried as a teacher. You should be worried as a teacher that your student is isolated. Your student is not talking, is not contributing to what is happening in the class. So your lesson must inspire collaboration. It must inspire creativity. You know, there is no limit there is this usual thing about teachers, right? You know, when you give, let's say you give a question to your student and you say, oh, they all wrote the same thing. You say, why would they write the same thing? Right? Right? And you begin to miss them, you begin to fail it. Now, you're thinking, oh, this person should be able to think differently, right? That's creativity. The ability to, have some more, the ability to, think a little different from what you have taught them. That's creativity. So, and then in 21st century, right, there must be digital literacy. Now, let me tell you one of the advantages of teaching online, all right, because that's what I do right now, is that when I teach online, there are tools I use. This is Google Meet, there is Zoom, there is BBB, there is different tools like that, that probably we are going to see just one or two. Now, it helps the students to be digital literate. So sometimes what I do to engage my students in class, right, is that I use the board, what's it called now? The whiteboard. It is collaborative. It is such that I can make my student the presenter, right? So sometimes in class, that's the first time, for some private students, that's the first time that student is learning how to, use the system, how to use the application, how to write on the screen, how to erase on the screen. That's digital literacy. That's digital literacy. And we can also bring it, to the physical classroom. We can bring it to physical classroom, from using projectors in the classroom. Some schools, they just have projector there, but they only use it maybe for maybe teachers meeting or other things like that. If you have, let's say, a room where there is a projector, right, you can take your students there. You can project your lesson. In fact, you can just do it in a way that you are not doing too much. You just want to project your lesson on the projector. You just want to show your slide. You just want to teach from there. Like unlike the regular, writing notes or sending notes and explaining, by mouth. Videos can do that for you. All right. So your lesson also must inspire problem solving. I mentioned that earlier. Now, one of the professional skills that we all need to learn is the active learning techniques. The active learning techniques. Now, it is problem-based. Now, here, students are assigned a problem. Now, students identify what they need to know to solve. Then students learn and apply to solve the problem. Now, I want to throw this to you. Regardless of the subject you're teaching, regardless of the subject you're teaching, can you pick a topic, right, and design a problem? You as a teacher, can you design a problem at the beginning of the lesson? I want anyone to speak. Design a problem at the beginning of the lesson for your students. Anyone? Just think about, let me give us about 1 to 2 minutes to think about that. Just think about a topic, right, in whatever subject you're teaching. Now, design a problem for that particular topic. Of course, it has to be a question, a thought-provoking question at the beginning of your class. So let's do that in 2 minutes. Let's think about that. Okay, Mr. Oluwafemi, you want to say something?
Yeah, yes, I'm looking at, okay, I'm taking geography. So we want to talk about
Okay,
the topic called the earth. The earth.
Okay.
So I can ask them question that, okay, we all know, we have seen the picture of the earth around, right? They will say yes. Now, are we living on that earth or inside that ball? Are we
Good.
living on top of
Very
it or
good.
inside? It's a question that we do as students that even an adult will like see a lot of
Mm.
funny answers. So
Yeah,
because if you tell
very
me you
correct.
want,
Very correct. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So that is an example. Mr. Oluwafemi is teaching geography, the earth, right? And he thinks of, okay, since he's teaching the earth, everybody, now, one thing about teaching, you all know this, right? There is the entry behavior, right? You know, where you need to connect with the students. You start with what they are familiar with. So you design a problem that they can relate with. So your question must be relatable. So when it says, are we living in the earth? Are we in the earth or on the earth? So they begin to think. Some will say they are in the earth, right? Some will say, in the earth, but no, are we on the earth? Some will say we can't be on the earth. We're on the earth. You know, that question is initiating thoughts in their minds, right? And they begin to think, right? You have designed a problem for them. So the students will now identify what they need to know. So they begin to have their minds, right, wrapped around, you know, that particular thing, what you have shown them, the earth. Then they learn, you know, they learn and apply to solve the problem. Can we have one more? Let's have one more. Any topic, then design a problem, a question that students can relate with. We're all teachers, right? So let's think of something. One more person.
Hello, I want to come in.
All right, please go ahead now.
Okay, let's assume I'm a mathematics teacher. I want to teach a topic, algebra or algebraic expression. So I will start by maybe asking the child, maybe what if daddy is coming home from the office and daddy decides to branch and buy a biscuit, and then mommy is also coming back and buys like two biscuits. If I ask the child, how many biscuits do you have all together? The child will say three biscuits. Then I'll say maybe the next day, daddy decides to buy an apple and mommy decides to buy two oranges. How many items do you have all together? You know, we can't add apple and oranges together. So
True.
with that, I will now introduce the topic algebraic expression because apples and orange cannot be added. They don't have like terms.
Yeah, very true, very true. But that's a beautiful illustration, right? And a thought-provoking question. I think you deserve a clap. Let me clap for you, right? That's for you.
Thank
That's for you.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so that's a beautiful illustration, very beautiful illustration. So your question has to be relatable. Okay, this is also Koya, right? You're raising your hand.
Yes, I want to ask a question. I want to add into what they said
Okay.
as regard problem. So I'm a computer teacher and I want to ask a question on word processing. Take for instance, I'm in the class and I want to ask that, I wanted to type a lot of things, but unfortunately it was messy. I don't know how to go about it. How do you think we can go about it? I have so many things to write. How do you think we can solve this problem of writing? And I want to solve a problem. The topic is word processing. And you know,
Okay.
it talks about typing, editing, and some the likes. So I already told them that I have a bucket things to type. I don't know how to go about it. That's an instance.
Okay. So you give them that, you give them that room for them to think, right? That's beautiful. You deserve clap. All right. Take this. This is for you. That's for
Thank
you.
you.
Right. Yes. So as teachers, right, we must be intentional. So you must be able to design a problem, right? Then give the student room, right? It's not all about, in fact, your lesson must be student centered, right? It must be student. I know, we all were trained, under that lecture, environment where the teacher just stands in front and does everything. But you see, we can change the narrative. We can change the narrative. So let's move away from that. Peer-to-peer teaching also is another skill, right, that you need to practice in your class. Now, I'm going to give this instance. I posted it some time ago. Now, peer-to-peer teaching. One day I was teaching. I was in class, my online class. I was teaching math. So as I was teaching, I think I was teaching statistics or so, right? So no, I was teaching operations research, further math. So the topic, and it's a very, quite difficult topic. So I thought I had to go over it again because some of them said they didn't understand. You know what happened? Now, why? I didn't know that had happened. Okay. At the point where I was closing, I was done. So I wanted to check the chat box because I tell students, not to use the chat box until I was done teaching, or better still, if you don't want to talk, type your questions in the chat box. So I just wanted to check, to answer the questions that could have been there. And by the time I opened the chat box, I saw that a student had put up an explanation, a simple explanation of what I was teaching. Very simple, that she used an illustration that was relatable to them, peer to peer, right? I didn't know that, it was probably an explanation, right, that made those little number of students that didn't get it, right, to just get it. So by the time I asked, is there any question? They all said no question. They got it. I saw her explanation and I commended what she did. She did it so simply. Just permit me. I'm just going to on the light now. Our power just went off. So, but I believe you can still hear me clearly, right? Can you still hear me clearly?
Yes.
All right. So that is peer-to-peer teaching. Right. So as a teacher, you can, in the physical classroom, you can tell your students, all right, what I've explained is now, I want you to pair yourself two or three in threes. Now, explain to your neighbor what you have learned. Tell yourself what you have learned. That struggling student may not be able to get the explanation from you, but we understand it from his or her peer. One thing, teachers, we try to do, see, even the best of teachers, right, you won't get all your students to understand at once. That's just the truth. So you have to sometimes allow themselves, to just group them and then talk to themselves. Let them talk to themselves. Let them explain to themselves in a way they will understand. So take note of that. That's something to take note of. Then there is Socratic questioning. You can see some on the screen. You ask them questions. Ask so many questions. Could you give me an example? Could you explain this a bit more? Is that always the case? Could there be another explanation? Like, just keep bombarding them with questions that will make them to think. Questions that will initiate that would initiate thoughts, all right, in their mind. So our time is gone already. All right, so I'm just going to rush this. So blended learning, I spoke about this already before. You are bringing digital learning, right, to the traditional classroom learning. All right, and that's what we've been learning. Now, platforms like Google Classroom, right, Microsoft Teams. Let's even start from Google Classroom. Don't let me just mention everything. Google Classroom is basic. Now, how many of us use Google Classroom in our classes? If you do, can you just raise your hand? You use Google Classroom in your, with your students. Anyone? Okay, now, see, Google Classroom is not for online teachers alone, right? It's not for online teachers alone. It's also for you as a physical classroom teacher. And, what do we do on Google Classroom? You can assign students, you can assign them questions, right? You can assign quiz, you can send assignments, you can send notes, right? I taught in a place. I'm going to quick so that I know the time is gone already. Now, I taught in a place one time, and then we had 45 minutes. 45 minutes was one period. We had 45 minutes to teach. And my employer at that time, what she said, I employed you as a learning facilitator, not a teacher exactly, as a learning facilitator. And this is what I want you to do. Within that 45 minutes, we didn't write notes. In fact, it was, let me say, a crime to write note on the board. You should not write note on the board. After writing your objectives, right, your objectives must be on the board. Now, you must play a video, like a 5-minute video for the student to see. Now, there was a projector. Now, after that, the notes will be sent to students during the weekend on Friday. So as the students are going home, right, there's already a platform. Then we're using Microsoft Teams, right? There was a platform that students, for each student, you don't have to wait for the head of your school. You are making it, you are the one trying to design your class, to suit you, how you can best teach your students, right? So you can decide that in my class, I'm not going to write notes on the board because you have 45 minutes to teach. You have 45 minutes to engage the students. You want to get them to engage, to talk. You want to because that's how they learn, right? That's how they learn, right? So you can decide that you are not going to write notes. You are going to use Google Classroom. You are going to, send notes to them. We are going to see flipped classroom soon, right? Where you can send videos. You can send. There's no file you cannot send on Google Classroom. You can send it ahead of the class. You can send the video to the students ahead of tomorrow's class. So let them watch it. By the time they are coming back, you already have a foundation on which to teach. As a teacher, it makes your lesson very easy because you are using a digital tool. You are using Google Classroom. You can use Microsoft Teams. You can send, you can teach and then decide that, all right, I'm going to send your notes to you, right? Let them go home. The one, that one that when they get home, they are playing around. It doesn't even have to be assignment that you give them. Just give them the notes. When you get home, copy your notes, right? They will write it. And then when they get back to school, right? This is not being lazy, not at all. It is you maximizing, that time that you have in your classroom. So platforms like Google Classroom, like Microsoft Teams, even WhatsApp. Now, let me say this. There's a place I taught, I was the principal of the school. I had to initiate, I had to bring it, that because, there are levels, right? There are levels in schools, right? There are schools, that their parents can afford. All the students have gadgets. Let me put it that way. They all have Android phones. Now, there are places where they really do not have Android phones, but their parents have Android phones. They don't even know how to use it, right? Some people just know that there's WhatsApp. They even call it WhatsApp, right? It's WhatsApp. They just know that is to send message, to do this. You can decide that, okay, for my class, there will be a WhatsApp group for my class, a WhatsApp community for my class, where I'm going to send notes every weekend, every Friday, or twice in a week, all right? Or, once a day, right? When you are going to send notes to your students, it will keep them engaged, right? It will keep them engaged. So when parents begin to see that their students, their children are more engaged at home, right? It gives them that sense of, fulfillment, right? So this will allow teachers to create a hybrid courses where students can access materials, submit assignments. So it's not necessarily that you mark books. Sometimes the reason for burnout is because you have so many things to mark. In fact, there are too many tools. There is Wayground, just like I said, tomorrow we are going to see, and we can't see all of them. That's the truth. We can't see all of them in 1 hour, right? As a mathematics teacher, you have a lot of notes to mark. You can create a link on Wayground. There's an assessment there. Send it to them. Let them answer it, right? The assessment is there already. The app will assess the students by itself, such that you are not the one that will mark it. So you have some time to yourself. So when you give them and they answer it at home, it is the app that will mark it, and then you will get the responses from you because you are the one that created the link. You get the responses, right? And then send the responses to them. This is your score. You got 7/10. You got 8/10. That's blended learning. That's blended learning. Many of the times, the reason for burnout is the workload. As a teacher, you can reduce the workload by yourself. You can reduce. Many times we complain of, oh, the workload is too much. You can reduce it by yourself. And let me say that there is no system that we see growth and we not appreciate it. There is no system. All right. So I'll begin to round up now. So this is flipped classroom. You can see the traditional way, the lecture, the teacher stays in front. You teach. After you teach, you now say homework, right? You just give homework. The next day, you have many books on your table to mark, right? Now, but flipped classroom is when, now, can you see, look at what we have there in flipped classroom. Now, there is lecture, right? That's, you send a video. You can see the student watching a video at home. At home, the student, you have sent a material to the student. It may be a video, it may be any document, a PDF document, Word document. Send it to the students before the class. Let them read it. Let them watch the video. By the time they get back to school the following day, let them begin to talk about what they have learned. That you can see, you are reducing the workload for yourself. You are also increasing effectiveness in your classroom. That is flipped learning or flipped classroom. So gamification also is there. I actually wanted us to see gamification too tonight, but the time is gone. We cannot do that again. So probably tomorrow we're going to do that. So there are gamification tools that you can use to teach your students. Many of them, right, that your student can relate with. They can see, like a game. Students like to play game, but they can be playing game and be learning, right? That's what we are saying. They can be playing game and be learning. So this is what I actually wanted us to explore, but the time is gone already. So let me ask, is there anyone with a question? We're actually supposed to spend 1 hour. So let me know if you have a question. Let me know. Is there any question? I hope we are still here. If you are still here, let me get your response. Are you still here?
Yes.
Please, can
Okay.
you the presentation slide for the flip learning?
Okay.
Can you send it again?
You want me to send it or to go back to it?
Yes. Go back to it, or you can just send it. I want to snap it.
Okay. I'll just do that quickly. So this is it.
Hello, sir.
And the next one.
Can we take it one after the other so that it's not random? Yes, if you want to speak, just raise your hand. I will ask you to go on. Yes. Okay, yes, Ms. Choma, go ahead, please.
Okay, sir. Please, I want to ask about the gamification tools. Are they actually free? Like you made mention of workaround. Are they actually free, or do we need to pay before we can use them in our classes
No,
online?
they are free. They are free to use. All right. They are free to use. They are there. All right. Many of them are there. You can just go there and use them. All right. You can go there and use them. So you may only need help on how to, all right, do all of that. Okay, but those materials are free. Yes, Miss Busola. Yes, go ahead, ma'am. Miss Busola, you are raising your hand. Okay, I think maybe that was a mistake. You are muted, though. I hope she's not speaking. You are muted. Mr. Oluwafemi, please go ahead.
All right. Yes. Mine, I don't know if it's a question, but all this, what we've learned, they are very good. What a situation you are dealing with students that half of them will tell you, we don't have data to do this, we don't have data to do that. Probably you have taught them and you give them notes there online, and there are complaints of half came back the next day that we didn't even see it because we don't have data. We don't do this, we don't do that. Don't think those are challenges because I'm looking at a normal public school settings.
Is it on mute
If
now?
you understand.
Okay. Okay, let me respond to that. I've also been in that space before, right? Where, see, even parents will give excuses. They will, right? Student also can come and say, oh, I don't have data. My father said he doesn't have data, and they are doing TikTok, they are doing Facebook, right? They are doing all of that. Now, in cases
Yes, you
like
are
that,
right.
yes, in cases like that, what I'll do is I will not change my resolve. Okay, what I'm going to do, what I did, all right, let me say what I did is in a way to help those ones. Maybe you are really, you really don't have, there's nobody using Android phone, in your family, right? What I will do is now those ones that have copied the question and that have copied, let's say, the notes, for example, now I will make sure that when they come back to school, right, that all the notes are copied from them, from their peers, from those who have copied it, from those who have gone through it, right, through those materials. So by the time you begin to see your mates, right, doing what you're supposed to do, you will begin to talk at home. And for some of these people, for some of these students, they just don't want to do it, right? But if you stand on your ground and say, oh, this is what you are going to do, and you are not going to change it, right? You will see that they will do it. They don't have data, but you see them on Facebook, you see them on WhatsApp, they are even messaging you, they are chatting you, how are you, sir? And they don't have data. They are on TikTok, right? Doing
Yes,
thoughts on TikTok, right? So we just have to
right.
stand our ground on that.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, sir. Yes, any other, Miss Busola, you were raising your hand. I don't know if you can talk now.
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so much. Good evening.
good evening, ma'am.
Yes. First of all, I joined a little bit late, but I caught up where you were asking the difference about 2 or 3 different animal parts, and someone was
Okay,
pointing out the differences in the. So, and I've been listening since then. But what I want to ask now is a question: is
okay.
that for those of us who are not in teaching the secondary school level, those of us in the early childhood, early years classes, I don't know how all of these skills you've talked about tonight, how we can implement them in our classes. Those of us in the primary school level, I don't know how. It's like it's majorly for those in teaching in the secondary school with older children. I don't know if you get my question.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I
Yeah.
wanted to say some
So that's my question. I don't know how we can
loss of
use
time.
all of these
Now,
skills talked about.
yes, I'm going to say this now on gamification. Gamification is simply using games, all right, to communicate learning. Now, there was a time, this one, game doesn't have to be laptop, phone, right? You, all right, and include, in fact, let me say this, right? We didn't get to use the FET simulation. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. That FET simulation, you can use it to teach whether you're you are in the I hope you can still hear me. Can you still hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
can.
can, but the
Okay,
network
so
is
I'm
poor.
going to, yes, I'm going to share those gamification, tools and sites that you can see, you can get materials even for your student. It doesn't matter the grade, right? You can get it there. When we're talking about digital skills, it's not something far-fetched, right? You can actually implement it even in the primary school, right? In the elementary school, you can implement it there. So of that tomorrow. All right. So this is what I shared the link, all right, to the chat. All right, that's everyone can check the link. Please click on the link, and it's just a feedback form, right? Just fill the link. If you have any question, you can put it there. All right, tomorrow when we come, I'm going to address all of that. Right. So this is me saying we're actually done with what we have to do today. All right. So thank you so much. All right, everyone, for joining this evening. I want to believe that you've been imparted in a beautiful way. So just please fill the form. All right, please fill the form. It will help us also to prepare better tomorrow. It's chat. I've shared the link there. Can you all see it? I hope you all can see. So just click on that form. Click on the form. You can even do that right away. It won't take you 3-4 minutes. All right, please do that right away. Let me confirm if you have done that. If you are doing that, okay, maybe you are doing that already. All right, thank you, sir. So the rest you can do that. So that's it for today. So we are going to see tomorrow. Please let's not be late. All right, and let's inform one, inform two. If you were really imparted, right, you can talk to someone about it. All right, and let's gather here tomorrow by 7 p.m. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye, everyone.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Bye. Thank you.